like supporting this small community. It blew my mind. You just have to follow Collective Fashion Justice, all right? They're amazing. I think other things that, France just had the fast fashion ban. I think they're doing a fast fashion ban. So things like that. And I think people just getting excited about this sector as well, and that they are like, putting their values to it, and like, creating different things and thinking outside the box, and using, like, there's a guy in Melbourne as well, called Into Carry, and he makes bags out of plastic, like chip packets and stuff. He like irons it and then creates really cool bags, like using waste as a resource. I get really excited about as well. Like, just like tiny little things like that, I think really build up. And like, if you're carrying a bag that's made out of like old bonsai boxes, that's really a conversation starter and that sort of thing. So I think, yeah, materials, innovation, creating, using natural fibers, but sort of, going in more of a vegan way. People getting excited about secondhand fashion, reusing waste, that sort of thing. I mean, there's so much more I could talk about, but I think they're my main ones.
There's a lot of things that's happening in this industry. If you talk about like 15, even 15, 20 years ago, wasn't so much. Even like 7, 8 years ago, wasn't so much.
Mm.
Now people are more aware and people are actually working on it. Like it's a very booming industry right now in US here. Are actually getting degrees in this sustainable industry and having a full-time job,
Yes.
make a living out of it. So definitely, if it has potential, and of course, it's gonna be, I think, in the future, more more people gonna be aware, and that's actually the whole point of this podcast too, because people like you or the other guests that we have before have so much insights because of your experiences, and you guys are a first one in this industry, or the one of the first ones, and it will be a great opportunity to speak with you guys and get your insights so we can learn what you have already done in your industry or whatever the practices are already exist in our industry. So maybe we can get an ideas, or maybe we can
Mm.
start moving forward from there so we don't have to build everything from scratch, and people can
Yes.
be
Yeah.
more aware of it, what's happening, and get more conscious or get more education regarding this. That's the whole point.
Yeah. 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 Just talk to people, see what they're doing, you know. I think as simple as that, because, how else are you going to find out things if you just sit in the corner and not do anything? Like talking, reading, podcasts, just dive down your special subject and get really weird about it is my tip.
So, what advice would you give to emerging creators that are coming up, founders and everyday consumers who are just getting started?
I think just research is my biggest tip. Like that's how I got where am now. Just research and just being really weird about it. Like, this is what I love to think about. This is what I love to talk about. I'm lucky enough to express it with, a whole world of people. But I think also find like your sort of niche. You don't have to approach slow fashion as a whole. You could just really like, styling, or you could really like mending. Like, find your little niche and experiment with that, and then sort of, you can always, I think they all bleed into each other as well. Like, styling can become mending and mending can become styling. Like, you don't need to be restricted by things. I think just talk about it. Like, don't be held back. Like, often I get in my head and be like, oh, my content's not cool enough. Like, I don't post enough. But also, like, so what? Just talk about it. I think is the main thing. Get it out there. Start a podcast, just do it. That's all I did. I just started talking about it and people resonated. Lucky
The
enough to have him. Yeah.
point is to take actions
Yeah.
towards it.
Take action.
If you think about it and you have some spark once you get it, so think about it and do some actions, do some your own research, because
Yes.
you're gonna be learning more by doing your own research. That's how I learned, and that's how I'm still growing in anything, not just sustainability, but any part of my life. You have to be learn a skill or learn about more stuff in it, so you can be more, educated about
Yeah.
it. So what
Yeah.
next for you, and what's your message or advice for the people in 2020 and 26? Now it's coming.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Next year. Let's not think about that.
Okay.
I'm not sure really. I'm excited to grow with the clothing exchange. I really enjoy hosting the clothing exchange here in Melbourne. And I think personally, I just want to share more of my journey with sustainability as lame as that sounds, I just want to talk about it and help people just plant that little seed. I'm doing a lot of talks at the moment. I've got some things coming up with Ethical Clothing Australia, which is another great organization. There's lots of startups that are sort of popping up into my inbox, wanting to collaborate. So I think just planting that little seed with people is what I want to do. And then they can find their niche from that. They don't have to go full blown sustainability like I did and go crazy. They can just, do the mending, do the styling, do the upcycling, whatever, find their little bit and research. But I think for me in the future, I'm going to step away a little bit from sustainability fashion wise and focus on finding my career, and it'll still be in sustainability. Don't worry, not going fast fashion holes. So I think I'm just stepping back a little bit, finding maybe doing a bit more sort of education for myself, studying for myself, still talking about these subjects, but I think I just need to step away to refine my center and then get back into it and keep sharing this message because that's what I want to do.
Lastly, any message you want to give to the people, and anything you want to say out, or you think that the world should be hearing or should know about this thing.
I think just if you have, I think with sustainability, people get caught up and think that, I have to buy this thing to be sustainable. I have to buy that thing to be sustainable. You don't. As we discussed before, it's all in your wardrobe. It's probably in your house. Like when COVID happened and we're all locked down, like Melbourne had one of the strictest lockdown laws in Australia. So we couldn't like leave the house apart from an hour. I couldn't go shopping as I was so doing back then. So I had to find things to do. I couldn't work at that point. So I'd like rummage around my house and being like, oh, I could use this to tie the plant back. I don't really have to go buy, a whole special thing to tie this plant to a stake. Or I can use this, or I can do like just the other day, we have like a big cat net out the back, and I just used found objects from around the house to mend the cat net so the cats can't get out the hole. Like, so just thinking outside the box and being like, I don't need to buy it. I can find it in my house. So I think just take a step back, think about what you have. There might be something you need to buy. Like if your washing machine is dying, it's going to be really hard to wash all your clothes in the sink. So, buy a washing machine. But like if you're, wanting to buy some knitting needles or whatever to start knitting, instead of rushing out and buying that set off Amazon or whatever, maybe look at your up shop or maybe ask a friend, and then you can have a little knitting session and have a little chat while they teach you how to knit or something, create a community and connection rather than going to the store or clicking buy now, I think is something that I just like more people to do.
That's wonderful insights. Thank you so much, Anna.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciated this conversation that we just had for about an hour or over a little. It's such a gift, being honest. So your passion and your experience in this, it's such a wonderful insights, as I said before. And yeah, I think we can learn a lot of from it, and we can be conscious even when we are donating clothes. We have to be
Mm,
conscious. It's not just we donated the clothes and that's it. We should go one step further to see the organization that we are working with, or we are donating the clothes to, are working fairly too with their people, and they're doing the right thing with the government instead of throwing that out from the back door.
exactly.
Thank you so much again. Lastly, you can let the people know where to find you, and they can connect.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for allowing me to chat to you about my favorite subject. But you can find me on Instagram as Ironic Minimalist. I also have a website under the same name, and I sometimes do a little bit of writing on my Substack, which is linked in the bio of my Instagram. And if you're in Melbourne, you can find me in Melbourne somewhere.
Oh yeah, definitely. You as I said, my friends live there, so hopefully maybe next within the next few years I might go there. So we'll see what we.
Yes, let me know.
Yeah, I will. So thank you so much to you
Thank you.
guys too for listening to this, and yes, it's been a great insights, and I'll see you with the next podcast. Take care. Bye bye. Okay, thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Jana, again. So that was
Thank you.
very beautiful. And of course, again, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I really enjoying talking to you. I mean, I still wanted to go more. There are still a lot of things, but I appreciate your time too. It's been late over there, so I don't want to keep you bothered. And
Oh, I could have talked all night, trust me.
I would love to connect with you again. It was so comfortable to asking you questions, and you were asking, answering really nicely. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me chat. It's been really nice to connect with someone in a different country because most of the people I do see are Melbourne or Australia.